What's going on, everybody? It's your boy, Big Dave. Make sure to go to thebizarrearchives.com and buy books. Buy books. We really appreciate everybody's support and buying our awesome weird tales, weird fiction books. But that's not what I'm going to talk about today. What I want to talk about is something that it's not really on topic to what I usually talk about, but I want to give you guys a quick heads up about something. So, we are seeing kind of these advertisers that we see on our favorite YouTube channels get exposed. And this happens all the time, right? It's like especially coming up to the holidays. Every time during the holidays, there's this new wave of subscriber or new wave of advertisers that begin to show up on everybody's YouTube channels and all of our favorite YouTube channels, our favorite YouTubers. So what happens is you have a bunch of, like this year, it's Kamikoto knives and established titles and all of these kinds of things, and they appear on our favorite YouTubers. And then almost every single time, what happens is after a few months of advertising, it comes out that these are scams. Established titles is not legit. Established titles is scamming people for money. They're not who they say they are. Kamikoto knives are junk. They're not really good knives, et cetera, et cetera. And then we run into this problem every single year, and YouTubers just continue to do it. And over time, people just stop trusting what YouTubers recommend, right? I have had several advertisers throughout my career here on YouTube and elsewhere, and never once has a single one of them been exposed because I don't do business with faceless corporations. Now, it can be, I'm not knocking on anybody. There are some YouTubers out there that I know personally that have advertised for me, that have taken the paycheck from these guys and advertised, and it's not all their fault. They're getting scammed too. They give the guarantee that this is a good product or a good service and whatever. And also, doing YouTube doing YouTube and doing internet content is not a very lucrative career path. It is not. You usually get thrusted into this. You get forced into this. You you do a few bits of content, and then I don't want to give you guys the whole story about that, but at the end of the day, unless you're one of the big dogs, you're not really making a whole lot of money. So when a corporation knocks on your door and says, "Hey, we're going to give you this many thousands and thousands of dollars," which would double your income, it's kind of hard to say no. So it's don't beat these guys up too much, but it comes at the cost of trust. It really does, and I would hate to see that happen to some of the YouTubers and content creators and intellectuals and great guys out there that really do make awesome content and really do have awesome, wonderful ideas and put forth great information that is we all love and enjoy and brings quality into our lives. I would hate to see the trust with those guys eroded, right? So what I would say, firstly, to YouTubers out there that keep doing this, right? Every year, you get your advertisers get exposed, and you have to roll out these apology videos or whatever you're doing, and or go online, go on Twitter. Hey guys, I didn't know these guys were a scam. Blah blah blah. And then it's going to get to the point that your viewers are going to be like, yeah, well, you fall for every scam. You fall for scams every year. Why should we trust you, right? Then there's going to be people that don't even want to hear that are just going to unsubscribe from you and just think you're a scam because you're associated with a scam. The most valuable thing in the world is trust. The most valuable thing in the world is trust. You can always make more money. You can never rebuild broken trust. Because even if those people who say they forgive you, say that they forgive you, they don't trust you. And if they say they trust you, in the back of their mind will be a hesitancy forever. Trust cannot be bought. Trust cannot be rebuilt. Once you break it, it's over. And that's just the way of the world. All of our economy is based on trust. Everything is based on trust, right? So do not break it. What I would say to you guys, you YouTubers out there, is opt for something that's a little less money, but is a lot more trustworthy. For example, me, I'll pay you. Yo, hit me up. Give me a call. Help me advertise Bizarchives. Obviously, I'm not going to have the same kind of money as Established Titles or Kamikoto Knives, but you'll feel good. You'll feel good that you're helping promote a fellow creator in the culture war. You'll feel good that you're promoting a good product that's made by people that you know, and your customers will actually like it, will actually buy it, and you will actually be able to create a relationship, form a relationship with the products that you promote, with the art that you promote, instead of just some Chinese junk like Kamikoto Knives. So don't fall to the trap. Don't get seduced by that big paycheck. Instead, do good business with good people. It's less money, but it's more trust, which is worth way more than the money in the long term anyways, right? So another thing I wanted to bring up is um speaking of scams, these Kamikoto knives, which everybody's saying is junk. This is something that a lot of people might not know about me, but I've had many career paths in my life. But one of the biggest one is I've worked in culinary for quite a few years. High-end kitchens, low-end kitchens. I've worked front of house, back of house. I've worked at every part of the house. I have handled hundreds of knives, high-end knives. I have worked with knives that worth thousands of dollars, and I've worked with knives that are just like freebie pieces of junk, and everything in between, from all over the world, all designs, everything, hundreds of them, hundreds. So I know a thing or two about knives, and I know a thing or two about what knives, how they function, how they operate, and their longevity and stuff like that. Here's a few things that you guys need to know. The majority of knives that you see that get promoted and advertised, especially during the holiday season, are junk, are trash on purpose. A lot of times they're severely overpriced, and other times they're just cheap junk. So you're going to want to look out for two things when you're buying knives. One of them is if it's too cheap. If they're offering you an entire knife set for $120, that's not a good knife set. That's junk. That's going to end up in your drawer collecting dust after it dulls so bad it can't get an edge ever again. Then the ones that are severely overpriced. The ones that are severely overpriced are generally a scam. And what they're selling you is, this is this kind of steel, that kind of steel, et cetera, et cetera. But the truth of the matter is that it's usually just a scam, right? And if it's a brand that you have never heard of before and just comes onto the scene, it's probably a scam. There are a few knife companies that have been making knives for like centuries sometimes, and they have been trusted by guys that are actually in the industry. Guys like me, I'm not in the industry anymore, but was. I'm going to show you two brands that Big Dave trusts and loves and that I put through the ringer. I abuse these things, and they are legit knives that you want for your kitchen. Do not buy Kamikoto and this crap you see on TV. If you want to know what knives are good and what knives you should buy, ask a chef. Ask a chef. He'll tell you, because he's been, especially an old chef. Ask an old chef, what knives do you use? Because an old chef has for the ringer. He's gotten in, he's bought all the boutique knives, he's got the high-end stuff, he's put them to the test, and at the end of the day, he finds this happy medium of knives that are affordable, that are sharp, that have the longevity and lifespan of what he needs, a dependable knife that will last you a long time. So I'm going to show you Big Dave's knives. This is what I use. Let me bring it up here. So I don't really use these as much, but these are like, this is the standard. This is Wusthof. I'm sorry if I'm saying it wrong, but that's how we say it in America. Wusthof knives have been in business for years and years and years and years. It is they are German steel. There's always this like mysticism around Jap, and there are some great Japanese companies. There are Japanese knives that are really, really nice and they're extremely sharp. But the thing is with Japanese style of knives is that they're fragile. You drop it on the floor, it chips, it's junk. That happens all the time. So do you want to spend $500, $600, $800 on a world class Damascus steel, whatever Japanese knife? You drop it one time and it chips, junk. You don't want that. You want something that you can abuse, something that you can sharpen, something that'll stay with you for a long, long time. And this is it. The Wusthof knives are excellent, excellent knives. All right. Uh, this one right here is your standard 10-inch chef knife. It's $200. I love Wusthof. I don't use them as much or go for them because the handles are a little small for me. They're great handles. They're ergonomic. They're comfortable. But if you're somebody that's like a big person, you got big hands, they might be uncomfortable for you. But Wusthof is like the shit. This is a great knife. So here's another brand that I'm going to show you another brand. This is my go-to brand, if it'll load. It's no thing. Okay, get out of here. So, this is how we say it, Victorinox. I know there's no A in there, but everybody I've known has always said it Victorinox. But these knives, this is the same company that does Swiss Army knives. They have a lot of really high-end knives. This is the exact knife that I use in my kitchen. It's like you can get it for $50 to $60. Mine's a little bit different. They've changed the handles a little bit. They now have like this kind of like, you know, convex handle. Mine doesn't have that. Mine's like a little bit more round, so it feels better in my hand. But it has a plastic handle. You know, they have ones that are nicer that you can get wooden handles and, you know, these kinds of you can get whatever kind of handles you want. But at this price point, at $60, you are not going to get a better knife. It's a nice long knife. You could sharp it over and over and over again. This is the best knife for this price. This brand is the brand that OG chefs have been using for years and years and years. This company's been in business for, you know, over a century, right? They're like 100 and something years. I forget what it's 130 years, 125 years or something. They've been around a long, long time. There's a reason for that because they have been making some of the best blades on the market forever, right? Especially for the price. So, if you want something that is low entry point, that is low price point for you to get like a really badass kitchen knife that you could just use over and over and over and abuse it and not feel bad if something happens to it or whatever. And also these plastic handle ones are dishwasher safe. I don't send mine through the dishwasher because I don't like it. I think it says it's dishwasher safe, but I don't know. I just think that, you know, high end knives you shouldn't treat like that. But, you know, um they also have more expensive, fancier knives that you can get. You know, you got the handles. You know, notice that Wusthof style handle. You know, wood handles, Damascus steel, and then also all of these companies do Japanese style too. So if you want a really sharp Japanese style knife, this is the way to go. There's lots of other great knife companies out here, but I suggest this is what I use is the Victorinox and the Wusthof. Those are the best brands in my opinion. They have the price point and they have the longevity and the sharpness. Nothing fancy. Workhorse knives that you can depend on and that isn't a scam. So don't buy Kamikoto knives. Ask a chef what he likes and then go with that. And Big Dave is a guy that's worked in the culinary industry for a long time, used hundreds and hundreds of knives. These are not a scam. So that's all I had to say for this video here. Don't buy Kamikoto knives. Don't buy Chicago Cutlery or Cutco or whatever the hell crap that they're putting out there. Go with what the chefs use. Go with what people in the industry use. And that is knives like Wusthof and Victorinox. So that's all I got for this evening. Do not follow Scams. Do not fall for scams. If you're a YouTuber, stop doing business with these guys. Do business with guys like me, dude. There's lots of us out here that could use advertising space, and we'll advertise with you. We'll advertise with you. Just give us a shout. We could work something out, right? So the sponsor of this video is your boy, Big Dave, and the Bizarchives. So go buy books at thebizarchives.com.